A strangled cry of warning. She ducked. Too slow. The heavy tail slapped her face, spun her, and sent her sideways into bookshelves and a lungful of dust and ink. Coughing, she turned. The silver sheen of her defensive wards visible in the gloom, voice rasping as she spoke the words for a hold spell, power gathered in one palm before she flung the spell across the too short distance. The drain of energy sent her a step back against the shelves, wood pressing across her back. She did not relax, heart racing, grabbing onto the shelves with her free hand, using that for an anchor as she began another hold spell. The snake, several times longer than she was tall, fat with the scribe's precious archives, writhed under the hold spell, green and gold scales speckled with silver from her magic, and green sparks that were the creature's own power. All Erith creatures possessed some magic, and this one was big enough to resist the hasty hold she had thrown. A full-grown adult, with fangs as long as her fingers. Shoving worry aside, she released her next spell, further loss of energy draining her defense, shimmer of silver dying, leaving her alone in the shadowed archive with the giant creature. A sibilant hiss and turn of its head, flat gold eyes showing nothing, was all the warning she had. Just time enough to fling a hand up, protecting her face. Venom sprayed, coating her arm and hand, face only partly protected, sticky stuff burrowing into her skin. Cloth along her arm smouldered, acid working through to skin, burning. Biting her lip against the pain, she gathered the last of her power for a final spell. There were untouched shelves of records behind her that the Erith would want protected at all costs. The Erith loved their records. Hold! There was no power behind the word, but Arrow froze anyway. The White Guard had arrived. A sheet of amber power, the White Guard's own wards, flooded the space, along with 5 tall Erith, the dark grey of their uniforms blending into the shadows. A coil of something dark and thin flew across the space, settling on the snake. Some kind of netting. It tightened around the wriggling coils with a flare of amber, Erith magic holding the creature. The snake writhed across the floor, trying to bite its way free of the net, hissing as the amber sparked. The net bit into the snake's side as it fought its captivity, stripes of blood welling up, then trailing onto the floor. The snake's struggles scattered half-eaten fragments of parchment, and it twisted, a spew of venom aimed at the warriors. It missed. The warriors, far nimbler than Arrow, stepped aside, each moving with smooth grace despite the close confines between the head-high bookshelves. Satisfied the net was secure, a pair of White Guard, hands gloved against the venom, simply picked up the bound creature and shoved it into a large sack made of rough cloth, held by the other 3.